Can a single mom making $44,000 a year actually buy a home in today's market? That was Kat's question. Recently divorced, 3 kids, renting since 2022, carrying all sorts of emotional weight of starting over. She didn't need a pre-approval. Yeah, she needed a pre-approval, but she didn't need just a pre-approval. She needed a plan. She needed a strategy. When Kat and I first spoke, she said something that was, I would say, incredibly honest. Should I even be trying right now, or should I just wait? You know, that's a great question, but that's not a numbers question. That's a confidence question. She had good credit score. She had $44,000 in income as a health navigator. She had just had a family member pass who had given her some inheritance. And she was receiving child support. Not a whole lot, but she had 3 kids dependent on her, and she was receiving some. Here's what I saw. She didn't need a yes or a no. What she needed was a strategy. And quite frankly, we didn't start with shopping. We did not start with shopping. In fact, you shouldn't start with shopping no matter what the case is. We started with a strategy and we started with safety. First question, is now a wise time? We answered that. What would a monthly comfort level look like in your payment? Can we protect your retirement assets? Can we preserve your liquidity? How do we keep you from feeling stretched? This is where most buyers typically fail. They look at a payment qualification. I helped her understand a strategy for sustainability. That is the piece that she needed. Kat had access to some money, but that doesn't mean that it all should be used. She had inherited some money from a stocks, from an IRA, from a family member who had passed, but instead of draining accounts, we mapped out minimum necessary for down payments, a reserve strategy, an emergency buffer, long-term security for the kids, because it isn't just about buying a house, it's about keeping it too. You have to be successful as a homeowner, not just as a home purchaser. So we could qualify her for more, but we chose less. Because after years of difficult relationships and abuse and a divorce, the last thing she needed was a financial pressure. So we built a payment around margin, around flexibility, around some breathing room, around some emotional peace, just to kind of help her get set up for where she needed to do. As she moved through our 5 steps to win, I started seeing changes in her language. The language change went from, I don't know if I can, to, okay, I think I can do this. That's when I started to realize that this process is working for her, and this buyer is no longer scared. She is now empowered. Kat didn't just get pre-approved. She got stability, she got clarity, she got control, and her kids got consistency. And she realized something very powerful. It wasn't just about qualifying, it was about believing. If you're working with buyers, or you are a buyer who is navigating some of these major life issues, you don't need a rate sheet. You need a roadmap. And I can help you get one. We don't just close, we help our clients win. And the 5 steps to win is our strategy. I'd be happy to help you win in buying a home.